Good morning and welcome to my first episode. So I thought, what a better place to start than the largest gathering of nomadic snowbirds in probably the entire world. So with that, I welcome you to Quartzsite, Arizona. Okay, so I figured we'd start here by just kind of showing you all the different areas, going over some of the specifics for if you've never been here. A lot of people are usually kind of scared to come here because they don't really know what to expect. It's really not as bad as anyone has built up in their mind. So this is LaPosa South, LTVA. All the LTVAs are the long-term visitor areas. LaPosa South would be, I would say, the number one spot for several reasons. One, it is the largest of all the LTVAs. Two, they have all facilities here. So they have dump stations, water, and trash. Most of the others only have one of those three, and it's usually just trash, maybe a few pit toilets, but other than that, most of the facilities are here at LaPosa South. So, one thing to note, if it's your first time here and you come in after the feed station has closed down or you come in at night, you do not have to do what the sign says and park here in this little side lot and then pay your fee the next morning. You can just go find yourself a spot. Usually if you come in the dark, just find something off the side of the road. You can pull over, wake up in the morning, get your vehicle and go scout for a good spot. One question I see a lot pop up on the groups is, if I come in December, January, will there be any room left? Absolutely. This place could never fill up. Even with at the peak of the season, during the RV show, there's about 3/4 to 1 million nomads here. And there's, excuse me, still plenty of room. So, how do you know if the feed station's open? I don't know if you can see the flagpole behind the sign here, but if the flag is flying, the station is open. If the flags are not flying, they are closed. So that is your easy way to know which stations are open and which ones are closed. It's 7:30 a.m. right now, so obviously none of them are open. It's a pretty easy process. You just pull up, go to the window. You will need your license plate numbers for every one of your vehicles. You're allowed up to 3 stickers, so 3. You can have one for if you have a truck and a fifth wheel, you get one for your truck, one for your fifth wheel. Then if you have a chase vehicle or an extra car, you can get a third one for that as well. We have 3 vehicles, truck, trailer, and a chase vehicle, so we get all 3 for the fee of $180. Now that fee permit lasts you from September 15th to April 15th. So you get 6 months for your 180. They are talking about next year increasing to 600. I don't know, that's actually been voted on yet. So we'll see. And I'm sorry for my voice being slightly shaky. It is a little chilly out here in the desert this morning. It's supposed to be high 70s, almost 80 this week, but it can still get pretty chilly at night. So we'll go right through LaPosa here. I'll show you some of the dump stations, water, trash, and just kind of give you a general overview of LaPosa South. Then we'll go over to Tyson Wash. I'll show you that, and then we'll go to LaPosa East and LaPosa West. So let's go. Okay, so we're here at the feed station. You can see is right there, and you can see the flagpole I was talking about. That'll have the flag flying when they are open. Here's the first sign you're going to see when you come in. It's going to tell you to please park in the lot. If they are open, yes, please park in the lot. Go ahead, walk up here to the window, give them your information, and they will get your stickers for you. As you can see, the sign above kind of gives you some distances to the facilities here. So there is 2 dump stations. One is wet, one is dry. The dry dump station is for blue boys and totes only. So do not take your RV or your van over there. That's about a quarter mile down. Then, as you can see, about a mile down, we have the regular dump station, which has two lanes for dumping. I will tell you right now, when it comes to the dump station, you better do it early or do it late. Water is also right next to the dump, and trash as well. There are several pit toilets here on the property. If you are camping in a van or tent and you do not have facilities inside, you will have to stay within 50 feet of one of the pit toilets. And like I said, there are several pit toilets here, so we'll stop and check all those out and show you where they're at. And let's go. Okay, so this is the first dump station. This is the Blue Boy only station. Like I said, make sure that you only dump your Blue Boys here, not your RVs. You will get yelled at. So, pretty simple setup. There is a tank of water there to help you rinse out your tank. If you come later in the day, usually that tank will be empty. So, I'd suggest coming early. And we'll go on down to the next dump station. Okay, so here we can see the sign that line starts here for dump station. And I'm pretty sure you can't even see the cones down there for the dump station. So this is just a taste of how long the line can actually get, especially during peak times, December, January. I would highly recommend you come over here first thing. They do turn the water on and off. So they turn it on at 6 a.m. in the morning and they turn the water off at 6 p.m. at night. So if you have to dump after 6, you just won't have any water to do it. but I have done it plenty of times with my little tote. Usually I just come over at 6 a.m., get it done early before anybody shows up. Then I don't have to deal with the crowds the rest of the day. Okay, so we're here at the dump stations. Like I said, it's a 2-lane dump station, and you do have dump holes on both sides of each lane, so 4 total. Water, of course, it is not potable water. The potable water is right over there. These hoses do not have ends on them, so if you're trying to flush out your tank, there is a spigot right there that you will have to bring a hose and hook up to. Other than that, these are just cut off ends, as you can see. So luckily this hose is the exact diameter of the Camco Rhino tank, so it will go right in the vent hole and you can turn it on and flush out your tanks. So let's go check out the water and the trash. So really no need to walk all the way over there, but as you can see, here is your trash. You've got a nice little drive up and 2 huge bins on either side. Usually in the height of things, there will be 4 bins, 2 on each side. I think this one is just waiting for a full bin to be exchanged. A lot of times too, if people have items that are still good but don't want to throw away, they will actually hang them on the fence next to the dumpster. So never know, you might find something good. We've actually had Santa Claus bring our daughters some new bicycles, and their old bicycles got donated to some people who needed them. So you can definitely leave some stuff there, and other people can find it useful if they need to. Okay, over here we've got the water. As you can see, these 2 RVs are already filling up this morning. It is a 2-lane, 2 pedestal. So there is 4 total spigots on this side. So 2 at each concrete cinder block. So it is a 2-lane. And then directly across the street, you actually have 4 more spigots. So there's definitely plenty of water hookups. Still though, again, in the height of January and December, the lines can get pretty long. So show up early. Again, they come on at 6 a.m. So I would suggest getting over here at 6 o'clock in the morning, start filling up, and go from there. Okay, so we are over at LaPosa at Tyson Wash. This is probably one of the most sparsely populated of the 4 areas, mostly because there's virtually no facilities here. I believe there's 1 or 2 pit toilets kind of scattered throughout, and that's about it. I think they may have trash. Now, they did actually build dump stations here. I believe there are 4 or 5 lane. However, they were unable to get water to the station, so they are not open. And honestly, I think that's why they're proposing a $600 fee increase for next year, because they screwed up and now they're making us pay for it. So anyway, let's go check out Tyson Wash and see what it looks like. Now, one thing I did forget to mention, if you bought your permit online from recreation.gov, you will have to come over here to Tyson Wash to get your permits. LaPosa South and I believe West and East do not do the recreation.gov online permits. You have to come here. So just keep that in mind. I guess one other thing I should note that's different about LaPosa South is LaPosa South, most of the road for probably the first 2 miles is paved. The other ones are not. They are all going to be this rock, gravel, kind of caliche type roads. And here are the brand new potable water stations that don't work. Man, how nice would it be to have 4 water bays? Technically 6, because you could use the last one because they're all double spicketed. Ridiculous. And here's the 4-bay dump station that is also brand new. Also not working because of no water. It does look like the lids are not latched, so I guess if you didn't need water, you could still dump. But yeah, no water. Now I'm not going to drive this entire area because it is still pretty big, but you kind of get the gist of it's, you know, nobody's on top of each other here. There's plenty of room. You know, most people just want to be as close to the facilities as possible. Not that I can necessarily blame anyone, especially if you don't have a tote. You actually have to take your rig over to the dump every time. So, but this is kind of a general overview of Tyson Wash. I will mention that this side does give you quicker, faster access to all the trails that you can see on the mountain back there. So there's plenty of off-roading and UTVing options around here. This entire mountain back here is all BLM. Part of that range back there is BLM, about to that little valley right there in the center. And then to the left of that is all military. So big military areas out here. All right, so let's head back over and we'll check out east and west. So we're over here at LaPosa West. This is going to be the closest access to town, whether you're on an e-bike or you just want to be able to get to the RV show and get over the tents. It's maybe 1/8 of a mile over there. You just cross over the wash and you're there. Again, if you're on an e-bike, this is going to be the closest and easiest to be able to bike back into town for groceries or supplies or whatever else you might need, if that's your only vehicle. This area is pretty sparsely populated at the moment. However, come December, once they start getting ready for the show, people who simply come in town just for the show will stay here. So this place will go from being pretty empty to just a sea of roofs. And you'll have a hard time finding a spot. Last year I saw a bunch of people just park in the front parking lot overnight and go to the show the next morning and then leave that day. So, all right, let's run on in. We'll take a look. I'll show you the only facilities they have here, which are trash. So this is the one service that you get over here in West, and that would be trash. And as you can see, like I said, people will leave stuff sitting out there that aren't necessarily trash. Definitely probably usable stuff. So if you ever just need to rummage, you can come up, look next to all the dumpsters and see what somebody has left behind. So this section west, as you saw driving in, some of the area is paved, not very much. The pavement ended, as you saw right here, as we came into the trash facilities. I'll make the right-hand turn here to kind of go back into the rest of the area. And you can see this is still paved here. Spots pretty much everywhere at the moment. Come December, this place gets pretty thick because everybody wants to be as close to the RV show as possible. And as you can see right there is where the pavement ends. And I believe this is Old Yuma Road. So you can actually take this road right in front of us all the way down to Tyson Wash, and you can use it to access even a lot further than that. The wash is actually right in front of us here, just between that mallard with the, I believe it's Mexico flag. Just behind that is the wash, and then you can see Q Mountain just back there. You can walk over from here, you can hike that. There's an old mine right there you can get to very easily. So this is probably one of the easiest accessible UTV and off-roading routes. You just drive down into the wash and you're there at all the trails. So that's pretty much all I'm going to show you for here. Like I said, it's pretty sparsely populated at the moment, but come December, when they start getting ready for the RV show, this is where everyone who comes simply for the show will come to stay, so they can walk over and walk back. All right, let's go check out east and then we'll wrap this up. Okay, so apparently I've been wrong because this sign says LaPosa North, which is a little odd because right there is LaPosa West. So anyway, LaPosa North is one of the areas that seems to be more concentrated by camper vans or the non-self-contained units. There are lots of tents here, lots of vehicles, vans, truck campers. There's only very few actual RVs. There are a few though. You can see they do have pit toilets right up here in front. So I think this is the only one that has the exception to the rule of the 50 feet. Because as you can see, these people are pretty spread out. and much farther than 50 feet from the pit toilet. So I've actually never been over here in this one before. There's actually quite a few people in here, more than I would have expected. You can actually see another pit toilet out over there. Okay, so they're not near the front, but they do have collection bins here. They're about halfway down the paved road on the right-hand side. Looks like they have 2. And that's all the facilities they have here. There is no water and there is no dump services. So you will have to go back to South. Or I believe there's some services in town that will come out and suck your tanks out for you. So that's going to do it for the first episode. Hope you enjoyed kind of getting an overview of all 4 of the areas. You know, the only other thing I didn't really mention was the quiet hours, pretty much the same here as any other campground, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So if you are running a generator, you know, make sure it's not on before 6 a.m. and make sure it's off by 10 p.m. Other than that, the only other question I see pop up often in groups is, you know, how far can you be from the next camper? It seems more of an unspoken rule of about 50 feet. Obviously, if you can get farther than that, you know, you want it. But come December, you know, beggars can't be choosers, so you're gonna have to take what you can get, and most likely either you will be on top of somebody or somebody will be on top of you. But that's how it is come January, you know. So that's going to do it for this week. Next week, I'll show you guys around town, show you what there is for groceries, food, firewood, fuel, propane, and what else, just what do you do after dark around here? Because I can tell you there's not much. So hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.